Welcome back to Bricks at War. Today, we're going to take a look at my hospital in a box. So, in the year 2020, as we went into a COVID lockdown, there wasn't much to do. And of course, we were seeing a lot of news about our current medical abilities to deal with the outbreak that was occurring around the world. A hospital in a box is not a new concept, but I thought I would give it a try out of Lego. Of course, the military uses this concept where they can ship cargo containers anywhere in the world and unload them to create a local medical facility within just hours. These containers were designed to work together with other containers so that the hospital could be expanded on site as needed. You could have additional containers that could include a operating room, storage for supplies, medical sleeping quarters, and even a dentistry facility if the need called for it. So let's take a look at my hospital in a box. So all the components to a hospital in a box are made in a standardized 8 by 20 cargo container. Now this is slightly larger than the size of cargo container we typically use when building with Lego. Most builders use an 8 by 16 format. Now this particular one has a slide out on the side which allows us to create more space inside the cargo. I can't get it all the way in here because the support poles are down on the slide, so it won't allow it to move all the way in, but I think you'll get the idea of what you can do with it. On one end of the unit, there's an air filtration system that can also be connected to a mobile air conditioning unit. In addition to that, there's also a Geneva Convention emblem on the roof of the unit, so that way when it's operating in dangerous areas of the world, people will know what this container is being used for. On this particular container, I've also added 2 solar panels to reduce the power needs of the container. On the front side, there is a light so that the container can be easily found in the dark, and an opening door. On the very end, there is a compartment that is removable, allowing you to connect multiple containers together. The container can draw power from a local source or a portable generator as needed. Let's open her up and take a look inside. The roof is easily removable as I've placed tiling all the way around the edge. There's just a few connection points. This makes access to the container relatively easy. All right, let's take a look at the patient area. As you can see, we have 2 beds located inside. Those structures are removable, so that way the patients can be easily put in there and taken out. In addition, there is monitoring equipment mounted on the back wall, along with IV bags so that you can keep your patients well hydrated. On the very end here, we've got some cabinetry, which allows us to store medications and other medical needs. And there's lighting built into the roof as well, so that way the patients can be easily monitored in good light. Okay, the second half of the container here, you can take a look at the far end. We've got some additional cabinetry for more storage of medical supplies. There's a table built in where a syringe has been mounted to the top of the table, some additional cabinetry, some medications, and a wash bin so the doctor can wash his hands. Theoretically, there's plenty of space in here to add a third stretcher should the need arise for more space. Okay, I'm going to show you now how we remove the far end passageway so we can expand to the next container. Okay, so as you can see, the end component simply snaps out of place and the framing goes back onto the container itself. All right, now we have a passageway created to connect to the next container over. We're going to put this one back together. We'll put the slide out back in, put the roof back on. Just snaps into place easily. And then we'll put the solar panels back on the top of the container as well. All right, let's go ahead and add in the additional container. Now, this is a demonstration purpose, so I haven't actually removed the additional doorway that would allow travel from one container to the next, as you can see in these pictures. Also, this is a good idea of what the container looks like without the slide out deployed. We're going to go ahead and deploy that slide out now. We've got to attach the footings that helps keep the slide out balanced when it's in use. Now, as you can see, this container has not been outfitted yet. We're going to make this one the surgery one. We'll get that done sometime next week. But here we go. We'll put the slide out back into place, line it back up, and that'll give you a good idea what two containers can do side by side. So one of the drawbacks to using white, if you've had a collection of Lego for a long time, is that white will yellow a little bit. So when used with newer white, it really gives you a funky look. Sometimes that's great when you're building a building. It gives a little bit of character. But in this particular case, I really wanted an all white situation. But you can see on here, there's some of the tiles have yellowed a little bit. I'm in the process of making some purchases of new tiling of all different sizes to replace those yellowed tiles, and we're just going to toss those out. I've been doing that now for a couple years, throwing out yellowed white bricks as well as yellowed tiles, and as we do so, we replace them with new ones. Your mobile hospital could be set up in minutes, just depending on how many containers you wish to add. Additional containers can be added at any time as the need increases in the particular area you're working. The hospital box is easily transportable and is a relatively standard size and can be flown anywhere in the world in just a few hours. This unit could be used by civilians as well as the military and could be transported to areas of the world where a mass casualty event has taken place or a natural disaster has occurred. If you like what you see here, I encourage you to go out and build your own container and see what you can come up with. Make sure to post pictures if you do. The instructions for this particular unit will be up in the next couple of weeks on my YouTube channel, so make sure you keep an eye out for it in case you're having trouble building one on your own. I sure hope you enjoyed today's video. We want to remind you to like and subscribe to the channel so that way you get notified for future videos. We want to thank you for watching and have a great day.